Hey guys, Bart from TST Industries here. Welcome to TST Garage. In this video, I have a beautiful brand new 2024 Kawasaki Ninja 500 in the shop with me. The actual CCs of this bike, 451. For some reason, Kawasaki decided to go with the 500 naming scheme. Whatever it is, we're gonna take it to the dyno, check out what it's got compared to the Ninja 400, as that's the previous bike that we've been working with in the small bike class. We did so many improvements to the power delivery, braking, ergonomics, suspension on that bike. We're excited to do the same here, but first we have to lay down some baselines. So we're gonna take this thing to the dyno right now, record some runs, report to you what we found, and then we'll go from there. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. We smell of burnt gas and partially deaf, but we got some good results. What I'm looking at is the graph that will be presented to you on your screen. I'm very impressed here. It's only a 51 cc difference, 52 cc difference from the previous bike, but I already see vast improvements. Now, most people will just latch on to some number on paper, like just the peak horsepower, peak torque number that in itself doesn't look very much different from the previous bike. But if you take a look at the torque curve, at the lower RPMs where the bike is typically driven around the streets, it's so much higher than the predecessor to this bike, and it keeps on cruising at a much higher value till it starts dropping off, and then we see a similar behavior to the 400. The peak torque was recorded at 32.25 foot-pounds on our dyno here in Florida at sea level. We don't vary very much from the sea level. You'll see other values from other dyno facilities, but we try to normalize through DynoJet research, circuitry, and algorithms so that we stay very comparable to other dyno facilities that use the same system. The peak horsepower that we recorded was 51.55 at 9.77 thousand RPMs. The peak itself is not that much higher than the 400cc version of this bike, the Ninja 400. But again, if you take a look at the entire curve, it's got so much meat starting way lower in the RPM range. And I believe that Kawasaki probably did this so that the people that are just riding this thing around the streets get to feel more right in the range that they typically ride at. Now for myself, I'm a track rider. I used to race a lot. Nowadays I race a lot less. I still do. I do quite a bit of track riding still in track days. For me, the higher RPM performance is really more important, but for the broadest part of the demographic that will be buying this bike, this setup that Kawasaki came up with to shift everything a little bit lower and give more lower end grunt, I think that will give them a very positive response from the target rider that they're trying to get. We also demonstrated the stock horsepower and torque curve from one of our previous bone stock 400s that we had here. We called it Snow White. It was the bike that we kept stock as a reference bike here, and we did a lot of installations on this bike. So it really remained very stock in the motor and performance arena. You'll see here that our baselines from that bike were vastly lower in horsepower and torque at every RPM level on that particular bike. We do have data showing past 12,000 RPMs. On this particular bike, the rev limiter is set way lower than on the 400. We will be increasing that once we are able to get into the ECU. We're actually currently working on getting into the ECU and being able to make a flash tune program for it. We also have intake stacks ready to go, air filter. We do have some exhaust already ready to go. And obviously our air box is one of the prominent parts of the WORX program that worked really well for the Ninja 400. That's already adapted to this bike. In subsequent tests on the dyno, we will be outfitting this bike with our entire suite of components, and we will be testing that output, and we will report that to you when that is ready to go. For now, I just wanted to report what we found in our baselines. A lot of people are interested in this. A lot of people are saying things like, it's not a big departure from the 400, it's not worth it. If you look at the curves, it actually is a very big departure. You just have to look at it from the perspective of actual performance and not just one number somewhere. All right, I want to thank you for watching. We also have a track review video that we shot and posted on our YouTube channel. We have Mark's street riding review. We've posted those videos already for your viewing pleasure. If you're interested in exploring what this bike's got going on for street use and track use, those videos will be a very nice starting point for you, and then you can go from there. If you're interested in any of the parts that we make for this bike, tstindustries.com is where you will find them. We have a growing catalog of parts. We're adding parts every week. This is a very new platform. We'll be working on this over the next couple months, so keep coming back and checking us out. You'll see new parts all the time. Thank you for watching. Ride safe. See you later.